She doesn't even go here.
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Hummel, and I'll be auditioning for the role of kicker.
Hello! Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Not So Straight Nerds. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And today, we're talking Daredevil Born Again, Season 2.
Slay.
Yeah, this has been...
Actually, no.
Yes. This has been a very fun week to week. I would say it's definitely some highs and lows, but oh my gosh, such an improvement on Season 1.
I agree.
So, I feel like there's so much more
about it, actually.
so much more depth, and it's just a lot more fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So, very, very excited to get into that. Before we get too deep into this conversation,
Vibe check.
how are the vibes? Tell me, please.
The vibes are okay. We've had so many sound issues this morning, so I apologize if this episode seems a little off. It's going to be ultimately our tester episode. Hopefully it's decent. I tried really hard to fix it. I don't know. I'm not a professional sound person. I learn things from Google, so and as I go. So
Yeah.
guess we'll see. The vibes are nervous. I'm nervous.
Fair enough.
Anyways, what about you?
What about me? It's Mother's Day, so
Yay!
shout out
Happy
moms
Mother's Day,
everywhere.
yeah. Including the cat moms and the dog moms and the pet moms in general.
Surely.
We see you.
So we did some Mother Day plans yesterday.
Yeah,
That was
too.
very great. So
Yeah. I did a bunch of like epoxy stuff. So we had like ice trays. And I have one with cats, and then they brought some as well. So I did some with hearts. So I'm excited to see how those turn out. It's basically just, I don't know if you know what epoxy is, but it's just essentially a liquid that then hardens, and you have a little trinket. And you can turn it into an ornament, a magnet, whatever you want, really. There's different molds for different things. They just got one for a cutting board, so they might do that one next time. I don't know. It's pretty fun, and it's pretty easy to do. I think I breathed in a little too much of the chemicals, because then there were a couple times I felt a little dizzy.
I felt a little silly goofy.
It's okay. I had a good day with my mother yesterday, since I won't be seeing her today. So yeah. What did y'all end up doing?
Just breakfast over at my parents' place. It was a very fun time. Got to see my little baby niece.
Aww.
Always a fun time.
Her. Alright.
Well, alrighty. Switching gears over to Daredevil, we are going to go ahead and say spoiler warning. We're going to be talking spoilers for Daredevil Born Again, Daredevil, and I'm going to throw this out there. Anything in the Netflix Defender saga is probably pretty free game. Not that we're going to be deep diving, but be prepared for some hard-hitting stuff across the board for this little area of Marvel.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to start not even from Daredevil Born Again Season 1, but recap our quick thoughts on the original 3 seasons of Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they were really good. I think maybe I watched them before you. Did you see them?
Oh, I watched that in, high school.
No? Okay. Then that's not true then, because I didn't watch them until probably college. I didn't watch them when they were coming out, but I did watch them afterwards. I don't know, I feel like COVID, they had, a resurgence, and I was, had all this time, so I, rewatched all this Marvel stuff. So, yeah, I watched them at some point, and then I think later on rewatched them, and then went on to watch, Jessica Jones and all the other shows. And I'm glad I did. I think it's a really good show. I see why it's so popular. And I feel like it was one of those in the conversation at the time that just felt different in the superhero genre. Even though that had been out already, I feel like maybe that's why I'd heard of it, because it was being put in a similar conversation to, Invincible or The Boys. Because it was on Netflix, and so it was a little, more serious and gory. I mean, someone, gets killed with a car door. We'll put it that way for the podcast. So yeah, it was pretty serious. But it was really good. Everyone was like, "This is peak," and I'm like, "Yeah, kinda." It's not a perfect show, but it has a lot of really high highs. So, especially compared to the other Defender shows, sometimes.
Indeed.
Anyways.
No, I was I would say I watched it sometime around the time that I think Iron Fist came out. I think Iron
Okay.
Fist came out when I first started getting into these shows originally.
Yeah.
And I've gone back to them like maybe 3 times to kind of catch up with new seasons. I've officially watched all of them, even though it took me a hot second to get the
Yeah.
last season of Punisher in. But Daredevil, I think, is a huge standout. I think across the board, it just has such amazing quality throughout. And I think especially where it starts and where it ends, I think are amazing highs.
I agree. And then it was fun as someone seeing the Spider-Verse movies to see Kingpin in those as well and kind of know more about that character. So
Yeah, absolutely. I think the casting of Daredevil as a show specifically is really strong.
Totally
The
agree.
writing, the tone, I think it all fits into a very cool genre. I will say, for the most part, across all of the Defenders shows, they do a really good job of having a distinct tone among them all,
I agree with that.
which I think is very applaudable.
Mhm.
But Daredevil's is so fun.
Yeah.
And like dark and brooding and edgy. And I'm gonna throw just as like a descriptive word, very Catholic out there. You feel the Catholic guilt
Absolutely.
in every freaking shot of it.
Yeah.
It's just so fun, and it takes its time,
Mhm.
which I think works wonders for Daredevil.
Yeah. And I think it's refreshing, especially for that being on Netflix, for a show to actually be taking its time there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the supporting cast is incredible. I think they have great antagonists in Daredevil. I think there's only really one antagonist who hasn't yet made their MCU appearance yet, and that's Elektra. And you know what? Never say never.
Please.
But gosh, I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, I think, is inspired as much as Charlie Cox is as Daredevil.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I think, like you said, casting across the board is really, really strong. Foggy and Karen, Bullseye, Punisher, just come on, Vanessa. Claire is a fun surprise.
Yes,
where
I
she
forget that
pops
Daredevil
up.
gave us Claire before she hopped boat to Luke Cage.
Yes, obviously Elektra is such a fan favorite, and I think we owe a lot of that to the actress because she's not been the only version, and people don't talk about the other version.
They
talk
don't.
about her. So
To be fair, they don't talk about the original Daredevil either.
yeah, very true. no, really should they? So not when you have the show.
Indeed. So, Daredevil, a win. It gets canceled. No more Daredevil on Netflix. And then he shows up in Spider-Man No Way Home.
When you see that cane and when I tell you, I was in a full theater Thursday night preview, like IMAX, like not like proper IMAX, but like nicer screen, bigger screen, big theater. I was like with the crowd to be with when watching that movie, and the amount of people maybe that's when I started watching it in preparation for that movie. Maybe I don't remember, but that would have because I knew I had known him when he had a cameo in that movie, so sometime before that. So there was a lot of fun stuff in that movie, and that one got some good cheers and some gasps, and I think some new fans as well. It wasn't quite as big as like
I'm sure.
Toby and Andrew, but yeah, I think it had a good mix of reactions there. So he was so good in that little cameo, catching the brick, and I'm a really good lawyer. We're just like we're so back.
Absolutely. And then at that point, it was announced that they were working on a show for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he showed up in She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say,
shame.
She-Hulk, I think, has a decent amount of problems. Not the least of which is Tatiana Maslany. And I'm going to say not, like, anywhere near is Daredevil. I think Daredevil is freaking sick in She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
They lean into a lot more acrobatics.
Yeah.
Which I think make him look just so cool.
Mm-hmm. He gets the little ketchup and mustard suit everyone
Yeah.
was talking about. You know, I'm glad it was in that show, and I'm glad
It's
it
gone.
wasn't anywhere else. I think it was fine for that show. So, yeah.
I think it's a fun little cameo thing, but like, okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Let's not see you again. Hang that up.
And then, season 1 of Born Again.
Yes, and there's a lot of conversation around that because people knew, I think, going into it, which so did we, that they're, switching some showrunners and,
Yes, about like mid making season 1, they basically were like, this isn't working. Let's start over. And you know what? I have to give them credit for recognizing it.
Yeah, at least they tried.
Yes.
Because we got a few, like, really good
There's
episodes.
some really solid parts of that season.
Yeah.
Just not
It just,
a lot of it.
It very much came off as, they switched hands over in the middle of the season. Like, I felt that. And unfortunately, that's just something, I would have rather gone this, and then that means we get a few good episodes versus one entire bad season.
Sure.
Plus, then the creators that went on to do season 2 themselves could put a few things in to lead to season 2, which led to a great season, I would say.
I will say, even if things didn't work for me in season 1,
Yeah.
they were built off of really well going into season 2.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they kept the right things, they got rid of the other things. So.
Doing maybe a little bit more specific, as this is the direct sequel in major pros, major cons
Of season 2?
of season 1.
Season 1. I really liked Hector Ayala. I wish his storyline was treated better in the show, but I did think he was a very interesting character, so it was unfortunate to see, since we're in spoiler territory, how quickly he got killed off, and like even the court episode, it felt like it wasn't fleshed out, and again, there's reasons for that, but I was disappointed because I was really looking forward to him. But then y'all were talking about how his daughter.
It depends on what variation you look at. There's
in the show.
It's his niece in the show.
Okay. So at least we had that to look forward to. Y'all had been talking about how she eventually takes over. It took a while, but we'll get there later. So I'm like, okay, well, at least this isn't the end. I'm just disappointed that this is the end for him. And then, gosh, I don't know. Finally bringing Karen and Foggy back, when I think for a while they weren't going to, and then immediately killing Foggy. I'm like, no.
Bringing them back only to send them off, I think, was a very weird choice.
Yeah, because Karen wasn't even in the first season a whole lot.
No, she was in the first episode in the flashback of like the opening, and then she showed up at like the very end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very
weird
bizarre.
choice. Never do that again. That's your lesson. Never do that again. And they didn't, so.
And then also made, I think, a little weirder is bringing in characters that are clearly trying to fill that role for Matt. Cherry, get out of here.
Cherry,
You're
I love you in little bits, but you will never replace Foggy.
He is the most,
not.
like, I think he's my least favorite additional character that they added.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just truly adds nothing to any dynamic. I think, I don't know. They're just not doing anything with him, and he's really annoying anytime he talks. He's always like, hey, I know you're trying to like stop crime or something, but like maybe don't do that. It's like, I hate you.
Yeah. Season 2, he was okay, but he was not in it a whole lot, so I think that was
Yeah,
the
that
better
helped.
amount. Yeah. And then
I will say Kirsten.
yes, I like her.
I thought she would like out of season 1. I was
Yeah.
like, there's something here.
Yeah,
You're
we're cooking a little bit.
there's something here.
You're doing good.
And
season 2, I loved her.
yes,
Anytime
she
showed up.
really shines in season 2.
I agree.
How do we feel about Kingpin running for mayor, which is the big
Yeah, I think that fits for him. It was perfect for the time. It led perfectly into this season. Never had a problem with Kingpin. Oh, we didn't talk about he showed up in
Yeah.
the Hawkeye show and then
Echo.
led to Echo's thing. So he had cameos of his own. So we kind of knew for a while that these characters were in the works to do something. So that was nice. He spent all of Hawkeye just throwing Kate Bishop around like a rag doll.
And he only showed up at the end of
Yeah.
the very last episode.
Yeah.
Some people aggressively disliked him in Hawkeye. I thought he was fun, if not... Hawkeye was such a campy show. Like, especially towards the end. Him ripping off a car door, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, guys. But it's just really fun to see him.
Yeah. I agree.
And then in Echo, I thought he was a decent antagonist.
Which you weren't a huge fan of that show anyways. I liked that show. But yeah, it's always fun to see, I think.
Important
Matt
note, I love Echo as a character.
Not her show.
Show I think is meh.
Yeah, and then he does great work here. Vanessa was a part of season 1, right? It was just, I know at some point we thought they were
Yes,
going to replace
because
her.
she ended up being the queen pin.
Yes,
Whenever
yes,
he
yes.
became
Yeah.
mayor, she took over the Allele operations.
Yes. And for a while they were talking about replacing her, and everyone was like, absolutely not. And they were like,
No.
okay, heard. And so again, thank you for listening to your audience, because why on earth would you replace her? That's ridiculous.
Very bizarre.
When she wants to, like, if she didn't want to come back, sure. She came back. like guys. Anyways. So.
Ooh, another con I'm gonna say.
Heather.
Okay, we'll jump to
Oh,
Heather.
okay. Sorry.
I will say, I think she's whatever in season 1. I think she's aggressively fine.
Because she hasn't become like a king, like a kingpin or whatever. I don't know what you
Whatever,
call it.
like
A follower
A
person.
Fisker.
Yes. Yeah, and the Muse whole thing. Oh, I loved Muse. That's
Muse
a big
was
highlight.
awesome.
Uh-huh.
Love, I think Hunter
Doran?
Dovey or something. But he's amazing. He's also in Wednesday, and I think he does
Yes.
great sociopathic characters.
Yes, we were so excited when we saw that casting because we knew he would do really well. And I think some people were like didn't know who he was and were like, "Who is this?" And we're like, "Go watch Wednesday." Like, what are you doing? So I'm glad so many people got on board with him. So
No,
go watch
indeed.
Wednesday.
And then
Who were you going to talk about?
I was gonna say, okay, love
We're gonna keep
having Bullseye back. What that outfit in season 1,
It's pretty
dude.
bad.
It's impressive that season 2 got me in the mind space to get over it.
Mm-hmm.
But season 1, I was like, dude, just don't put him in an outfit because he looks scarier without it.
Yeah. But I will say I loved that the show basically opened with Daredevil like trying to kill him. That's a way to start off your show. Like, this is not the Netflix show. He is in a different place. Like, Foggy just got killed and he's killing this person, or trying at least.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a way to start off your show. It's a bold swing because, that is not Matt's character. And so people were like, I don't know about this, but I do feel like they did a really good job handling that storyline.
I agree.
Here or there and season 2. Yeah. I don't know. Anything else? Oh, I guess I didn't really ever care for like that one one or two police officers or detectives or whatever that they tried to like make main characters.
The
And then
female officer I thought was fine.
like, they were just boring. They showed it back up at the end of season 2, which was I was like, hey.
Although I liked her a lot in the episode of like the bank robbery.
Yes,
That's a huge highlight for me.
Mm-hmm. And then
there's also Daniel. In season 1, not it.
right.
Daniel.
Yes.
And BB, I think, is also not doing nearly enough in season 1.
I don't think so. I like that she gets more to do in season 2. Even if sometimes it's a little bit annoying, it works out.
Yeah.
Like, we get there. So.
I think that's...
That's like a good chunk of it. Plus, we have several episodes towards the start of our show that we talked about Daredevil season 1 episodes. They're just more split up because that's when we did weekly stuff.
Yes.
So, if you care, go watch those. They're looped in with, I think, like White Lotus and Invincible episodes.
And
mostly.
I think The Last of Us.
And The Last of Us.
I don't think we did
watched all of
weekly
it.
on Invincible, but we did The Last of Us, I think, around the
Yes.
same time as Daredevil.
Yeah, so has a lot of stuff it's looped in with, but who care?
Before going into season 2, the last note is the ending point of season 1, which is we gotta get an army. And then he walks into the next room and it's like,
None of the
hey, officers.
yeah, none of the
and
defenders
Cherry.
are there. I'm like, guys, you're so clearly teasing the defenders, and none of the defenders are here. Not even everyone was talking about Jessica Jones at this point, rightfully so. And then for them to say that, everyone was like, "It's happening," and then she's not there, and you're like, "Okay, die in a hole." Like, I don't know. I was so mad.
No, it was such a bad place to end where it's like, oh my god, we're exciting. He's building an army. Hey, Cherry.
I'm so glad
Hey,
they like
Barbara from
immediately
accounting.
kind of got rid of that. They were like, "No, we're not doing that. We haven't even talked to these people in who knows how long." So thank goodness the showrunners were like, "No, we're doing this season differently."
Yeah.
This is
So
our show the whole time. We're doing it our way. Thank God they did. So
yeah. So switching gears. Season 2. So that's where we ended on season 1. What were your expectations going into season 2?
Honestly, I was excited because the showrunners that had, I thought, been doing a good job where they could in season 1 finally had a whole show to work on. Because even there were some moments where they worked on certain episodes. I was like, I don't know. Especially, I mean, they worked on that last episode, which ended so poorly. But, you know, I think they were doing the best with what they had. And then when they had their whole season under their control, you know, they immediately changed things and for the better. And it felt natural. It didn't feel jarring. It didn't feel like, where did these people go? Because we didn't care about them. So who cares where they went, really? Same thing, like you said, with Bullseye. Like, I remember at first you still not liking his outfit a whole lot, but you very quickly get over that. Like, they just do
Because they have him doing just so much awesome stuff, and the
Yes.
character just like completely pops.
Yeah. So they kind of just hit the ground running with a lot of stuff, and they do it really, really well and get you immediately excited if you weren't already and you tuned in just to see what was happening. Like, that's a good first episode to start with. Yeah, and I was looking forward to it thoroughly every week.
I mean, even just the acknowledgement that Jessica Jones is returning,
Yes.
I'm there.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and also important note, we did not hear if Punisher was going to be coming back. I also think Punisher, when he was doing stuff, was really fun in season 1.
I agree. They kept the whole him and Karen have a vibe, but like we'll probably never act on it going. I love that. I love that that's always going to exist, even if they never actually act on it. It's fine. I feel like that fits.
surely.
So.
But yeah, I was also very excited. I will say the advertisements for season 2, which I was seeing, unlike you, I was very excited. I thought they chose really good like hype music for everything. And they were highlighting the action, which I thought was very fun.
Yeah.
Apparently, the original design of season 1 was like not until like the last like 2 episodes does he even become Daredevil again, and I'm like, what on earth was your show supposed to be? Hello? Bizarre.
Yeah.
But just starting off, showing the parts that people wanted to see, I think that put me in a better headspace going into Daredevil season 2.
Yeah. You know, Twitter for some reason thinks I have beef with Daredevil, and I don't really know why. I've always loved him, but they like refuse to show me anything Daredevil related or adjacent. Like I've had to like go and look things up. I liked tweets about the drama weeks ago when it came out, and now all of a sudden it's flooding my For You page, and I'm like, what? I don't know if it got on streaming or on demand or something. People are talking about it. I'm like, why is? Thank you. I like reading about this because that was an interesting movie. But like, I didn't know Daredevil was coming out until the day up. I was like, Twitter. I haven't seen a trailer. Like the only thing I had seen was the leaks of Jessica Jones on set, and that the showrunners were doing the whole thing. That's really, and then the black suit with the red splatters
And the DDs.
yeah, that's really double D's. Anyways, that's really all I saw. I never saw a trailer or even like the promo you would think would happen for a Marvel thing. And apparently that was just my For You page hating me. I don't know. The same with Punisher. I feel like I haven't seen nearly anything about that. But I'm tracking that. I know that comes out in 2 days, so at the time of filming. Anyways.
Indeed.
Crazy.
But then clearly them getting on board with, okay, yeah, he needs an army that people are interested to see. I'm like, cool, we're finally where you should have ended.
Thank you. You're bringing Karen Page back.
So admittedly, going into it, I was a little reserved, but hopeful.
Yeah. Me too.
So, end product, overall, really love this season.
Yes. It's you know, it's easier to do a worst parts because best parts is like 90% of the show. I really do love so much of it. Daredevil's always great. Kingpin, Vanessa, they're always great.
Karen back.
Karen,
She steps right back
absolutely.
into stride.
Angela is her name? Ayala?
Yes, Angela,
She's fun. It takes her a while to kind of.
When she
come
gets
along
in full
together.
gear, it's really fun. The
Yes.
action, I think, is super cool.
Yes.
We see Jessica Jones. She also steps right back into it.
Absolutely. Kirsten's fun. Cherry's
Yes.
there just the right amount. Buck, I think, has always been an interesting
Buck
character
leveled
to
up.
me.
I will
Yeah.
say Buck, I was not even like... Season 1, I could not have told you his name.
Yeah.
Season 2, he's really made an impression.
Yeah, he's really interesting in season 2. And BB has good moments.
She
and
also
she gets
levels
there,
up.
I think. She has a couple, like, I don't know where we're going with this, maybe moments. But she's obviously levels up from season 1. And then we get there to where I'm excited to see her.
Well, in Season
For
1, they
sure.
do really weird stuff with her where it's like, she's always like, Kingpin's just doing so much good, and she's like trying to like soften up to that. And then like not towards like the very last couple episodes as she's like, but I know the truth, and I'm going to report on how bad he is. But we don't ever see any of that.
Until this
season,
Yeah.
which is like, I don't know, that feels weird.
Yeah. I
A
agree.
very weird choice for Season 1.
But
having her actually do it, I think, then you're actually the character that
yes, thank you.
you're trying to
to Thank you. Bullseye is immediately very, very cool. There was one other character that I
Also love
forgot.
Swordmaster.
Yes,
Jack
thank you. That's what I was trying to
Duquesne.
think of. Oh, Matthew Lillard's character has some interesting moments.
He is just such a silly guy in such a serious world.
Yeah.
And I will say he rocks that dynamic.
I agree. It's always fun where he pops up. So, and now he's gonna be in Superman: Man of Tomorrow. So excited for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that guy. Trying to think if anyone else that was super exciting here. I will say
I liked the Attorney General.
yes.
No, the Governor. Sorry, Governor.
The Governor.
We always keep mixing that up.
Lily Taylor, I love you everywhere, but you killed it here.
Yes, for sure.
I also want to say, Where are you?
We've been keeping
Daniel.
Okay.
I would say he got also. He
agree with
became a
that.
character here instead of more of a caricature.
Yeah, I agree with that. He was still annoying sometimes, and like kinda
He was like, I
creepy
think,
and,
more
like-
purposefully annoying here.
Yeah, I agree. He seemed more like they knew what they were doing with him. So.
Indeed. You were saying sorry.
Oh, I don't remember.
Cool.
I don't remember.
Oh, I wanna also-
I would think I was like, do you have anything else before we go into worst parts? Because I have one, which we're gonna have
Yeah.
the same one.
So I'm gonna shout out a couple of the bigger parts that I really like. Like overall, love the boat scene in the sinking. I
Yes.
think that looked visually so cool.
Anytime they use like the watch, they use
Yes,
it several
the watch was
times.
super cool.
Yeah. The breakout scene
yes,
with him and
with the
Jessica Jones.
and I'm gonna say the breakout scene with Jack and the other prisoners, and Angela was there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say the final
when-
fight scenes.
Bullseye leaves
No.
the knife.
Everything with Bullseye. Oh my gosh. Every scene with Bullseye, it's like I'm watching Peak.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor. The flashback episode, and then like going right into gear of how original Daredevil was filmed. I
Yeah.
loved that. Having Foggy come back, stepping right into gear, adding a lot more depth to these characters. Like even Buck adding in that like, yep, anytime Kingpin had somebody killed and it looked like a suicide, that was him. It was like I was always there. Also having Wesley back was great. Missed that guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Karen Page in a wig.
and a bob. Can't catch her with that
And a
bob.
I feel like we're forgetting some small things, but we hit the big one.
Maybe, but that's
There's
the bigger
like
stuff.
A cameo of another familiar face. towards the
Yes.
end,
I'm gonna shout at Luke Cage, sir, you're back, and I'm so excited for you.
Yes.
I'm so sorry that Kevin Feige probably threatened you after you posted that picture.
Yeah, so you posted a picture that I won't say what it is for those who don't want to know, but let's just say it's
I mean,
something
it's
for...
the finale of season 2.
Oh, I was thinking of something else with something that Matt is wearing that's like... What happened, Matt? Like the shirt that he's wearing.
Yeah, he's in jail,
Anyway.
which is what happens at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Crazy rumor.
Anyways, there's also other things in that picture where I'm like... Anyways, there's some set leaks, so maybe block some things, avoid some things if you care about that. So,
Also
that's all
something
I'll say on that.
also something that needs to be said. Matt revealing that he's Daredevil. Dude.
The second we clocked that was his plan and we were gonna do that, we were like, I feel like we loved it. It's like, it's one of those like, okay, what's this gonna look like? But the show had done such a great job in so many places
setting up
so
the
far.
argument for it.
Yeah. So I felt like we felt good about it. We were like, okay, let's do this. And then when it finally happened,
And then he does like the proof of like throwing
Yeah.
his cane around the room and catching it.
Yeah.
Dude, that was awesome.
that whole episode, that was the finale. It was so good. Anyways.
No, some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, switching gears. Worst parts.
I feel like the biggest
I have a
thing,
couple.
Yes, the biggest thing that we both share is Heather's entire character and storyline this season. She's just so aggravating and annoying and such like a sheep. Not to quote the sheep detectives, but that's what
the
people
thing. I don't think she's a sheep. I think she's just truly an awful person.
Yeah.
And it's so seeing
It's-
her from season 1 to season 2.
Yeah.
Season 1, I think her and Matthew being together is such like a symbol of like, Matt, you're not where you should be right now.
Yeah.
And I think she brings up an interesting perspective from like the downsides of vigilantism.
Yeah.
And she's a specialist, and she's Kingpin's marriage counselor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all interesting.
She becomes Muse's therapist.
Yes, loved that as well. The moment she, like, puts Muse and Daredevil in the same category after the fact is where it's like, that you don't make sense anymore. And you're a character whose, like, whole purpose is to make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a way to get yourself there, and it's not what you've been given.
Well, it comes off as like she got broken up with, and then she's spiteful because of that, but she doesn't know to be spiteful against Daredevil, so then we can't even blame it. I mean, that would be annoying enough. We can't even blame that on why she's so against Daredevil. It's like she doesn't even know. So she's just like doing this because she's a horrible person.
And then in season 2, you just see her, like, this moment she comes back, she straight up breaks the law. So then, like, it's one thing for her to be supporting Kingpin as a mayor,
It's
but
like
then
180.
you become a criminal in that support. And that I don't buy from where we were. Like, from where we started her out as a character.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes, like, so over the top and insane. Which clearly by the end of the season, she's insane. And that last shot of her and the idea of, like, putting on the mask and then seeing your true self, love the way that that's done visually.
Yeah. So we'll see in season 3.
I mean, I will say, I think this character's got one more season in her. And
Gotta make
then...
it more interesting or you're done.
I mean, you can't call her boring. She's no Cherry. But she's aggressively aggravating, and like, just so truly, when she was on my screen, and, like, there would be lines that she said, and I have my, like, fight or flight response down my spine, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're not a real person in front of me right now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Her
gosh.
entire interaction with Karen Page, that fed to the whole, like, she's petty because she's dating Matt, but it's like, you don't even know he's Daredevil yet at this point. Her slapping her, it's just giving jealousy, and it's so annoying. I'm like, girl, I don't want to see you on my screen right now. I was gonna say you're better than this. I don't
think
she's
you're
not.
better than this.
So no, I want you to be better than this. That's a more accurate statement there. But
yeah, I'd be lying
she's
if I
lying.
wouldn't say, if I'm saying seeing the Lady Muse, or, like, the new iteration of Muse, I'm interested to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
But I hope it's not a huge part of the next season.
yeah.
Also, I think Daniel and BB. BB's whole, like, fake Kingpin thing, I feel like there's something about that aesthetic of, like, the, like, undercover real news truth podcast kind of thing. It reminds me of what they did in the latest Running Man movie, and, like, the aesthetic of, like, the really over the top and tacky editing of, like, oh, but here's what they don't want you to see. See. Like, that, like, digital repeating and, like, slapped over editing. It might just be a me thing, but I think I've decided I think I hate that.
Yeah, that's probably just a you thing.
Um,
I'm sure there's
especially
others
from
out there
someone
that
who,
get
like,
it, though.
is an obscenely good journalist. I don't know. I feel like there's more straightforward ways to go about that. Not that she shouldn't hide her identity or anything, but
Well, perhaps maybe that is her way of further hiding her identity, is creating something so not her style that they wouldn't guess to connect the two, perhaps. I don't know.
but then they did. So, her getting so much closer to Daniel, I thought was also
I could never tell if she was using him or actually liking him, and then when we find out she actually liked him, I was like, I don't know. Maybe not.
it's weird. I feel like, at least in first season, he was abominable. Here I can see where you could form an attachment to him in some capacity. Um, but but then at the end, he is a complete fumble. The whole, hey, get in my car, and then it's like, where are we? I'm gonna bring you upstairs so they can kill you. No, don't do that. Okay, go. It's like, and I'm not that far off from what they're saying in the dialogue.
No, really not.
It's really bizarre. And then he goes up. Him and Buck, I think their dynamic has been interesting this season. I think they both have helped each other as characters. Feel a little bit more fleshed out. But then the last scene with him and Buck, the craziness of, for those who don't know, so Buck ends up shooting him in that scene. Apparently, that was done in post. And originally, Buck was supposed to let him leave. And he says, go away and never come back. And then he lies to Kingpin about it later. And
I'm so glad. Like,
I'm glad they didn't do that.
I could see where maybe if they spent more time on their storyline and their dynamic, where they, like, maybe if there was like a I see myself in you kind of thing, so it's like I can't kill myself. But they didn't do that, and they didn't spend enough time building towards something like that. So with what we got, that would not have made sense to me. I could see a world where they added stuff to make that maybe make sense.
Sure.
It's not what we got here, so I'm so happy that that's not what they went with. It was so sad, but that's the point. Like, of course he would do that. So, yeah, I'm happy with what we got.
No, and then, but apparently it really surprised some of the actors from the show because they didn't know that until after the fight.
Oh no!
And they were like,
"Oh."
Like, I think BB's actress came out and was like, I did not know that happened.
Oh, that's so sad. Anyway,
It's
crazy.
show business, man. So crazy. I feel like there's no way he was coming back anyways, regardless. But, because, I mean, if Kingpin's not the mayor anymore, what the hell is he doing?
Well, and if he was let go after betraying them, he'd have to be in hiding forever.
Yeah.
So, no.
I also think, I know there's a bit of a dip for me. I would say, like, right after the flashback episode, we come back, and I will say the quality just isn't as high as it was. Jessica Jones, that's where it kind of starts. I love their action scene. I love her introduction scene. Hey, Danielle. Love her. So excited for her. I want to see their dynamic a little more. Hopefully season 3 lets them shine a bit more as a little family.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones season 3 really is unfortunately, in my opinion, a bad season. Mostly because so much of that season, she just doesn't have her powers or can't use her powers. So then it feels weird going into this show and being like, oh, sometimes her powers don't work. And I'm just like...
Because I had a baby.
Ugh. And because she had a baby.
I hate that.
Not about
we
that.
We just had that with Invincible.
It is literally Mother's Day. Mothers
No.
normal mothers lift cars to get vehicles off of their children. What do you mean now that she has someone to protect, her powers are less dependable?
I hate that trope. I think, obviously in real life, yes, pregnancy does change every woman's body, and some women, obviously way more than others, it kills some women to give birth. And so I get it, but it's like in a fictional show with a badass, like, character like this. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want you to take away her power. Like, it is. It's like you're taking away her power just because she had a kid, and I hate that. I think that's annoying, and I don't know.
And, like, I feel like if you're looking for, like, if there's, like, some kind of attempt to try and be like, oh, it makes it, like, fights more complicated or something, then, like, that feels lazy. Like, then change the scene so that there's a reason that this badass character is still a badass and is having trouble in a fight. Like, I love her first season where it's like, yes, she's super strong, but the main antagonist doesn't use brute strength.
Yeah.
Like there's amazing ways to work around that kind of stuff.
Sometimes I can get on board with like when you're pregnant, like when you have powers, the baby has some sort of powers, and that changes things. I think that could be interesting and cool if handled well. Like,
We saw something similar in Invincible.
yes, and
if
I
not-
also think we watched the originals, and I feel like there was a couple things
yes.
with that was very cool. So yeah, like when
There's
done
something.
right,
There's stuff you can do with it.
yeah, but to take away their power, I'm like, no, I don't like it. I think it'd be kind of cool if maybe they did it where her powers were still there but changed in a way or unpredictable. But it needs to still be there. There are ways to do it, and what they did was not one of my favorite ways.
Nah, I completely agree.
So
Other cons. How do we feel about Kingpin straight up murdering dozens of people in a courthouse and then just walking away from it? I know that some people find that a little beyond
I
the
don't.
separation of, yeah.
I don't.
I also think that's like it's either you
don't.
let him go now and you prevent him from killing more people, not even just by himself, but with his armed goon squad. I think that unfortunately there are plenty of comparisons to be made to real life politicians who get away from stuff. Definitely not as hands-on, but
I mean, if the people involved in the Epstein stuff aren't getting consequences, then nothing surprises me anymore.
indeed.
Nope. So, nope, that was not unbelievable to me. That not only, I think, fit his character because he had nothing to lose, so he had nothing to mask at that point. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he's probably not gonna face a whole lot of consequences for that. Though in his own way, he is facing a consequence because he is losing all of his power. Now, obviously, rightful justice would be, he's thrown in jail forever, but that is punishment for him to have to be exiled anyways. Yeah. That's another one of my worst parts is, what's his name? Officer Powell? Is that the one we
Powell.
don't like? I need him to die sooner rather than later. I'm so sick of him. So, the plot armor. It's when he has plot armor where I'm like, we've gone too far. We've gone too far. You're an aggravating character, that's bad enough. And now you have plot armor, and now you're treated as important.
No, I feel the same. That was
I can't.
I felt that reminds me of like one of my only complaints of like Stranger Things season 3, where I just couldn't get over that the same goon kept coming out and attacking people, and I'm just like, guys, you can kill this guy, and then there's another person, and then it doesn't feel like some weird vindictive stuff. Like there's a lot of people you could be having to fill this role throughout the thing, and it would take me out much less. I feel adjacently here about it.
I'm so tired of it. It's crazy. At least I'm glad that people are starting to turn against him.
And he's in jail now.
Whoa. Yeah. So.
He's in jail with Matthew, and Matthew is the one smiling. I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me type shit.
Call an ambulance, but not for me. Yep.
Another critique that I've heard is that when they're assembling the army, there's a lot of other vigilantes in New York or New York adjacent that would seemingly fall under the jurisdiction of all of this that just aren't present.
It's hard because I get it. Like, honestly, I genuinely don't have a problem with them not showing up here. What I would like is, like in Spider-Man Brand New Day, to hear something about that. To hear something about, I don't need a bunch of cameos in every movie and to overlap things. I just need, then when it's their project's turn, for them to acknowledge the things that are happening. Like, I love the amount of shows after the blip that acknowledged the blip and showed their version, like with the Elena in the bathroom.
Monica.
Yes, I loved all of those examples. So I feel like I maybe want that here. Like, it would have been nice to hear about the Void in this show, just like a mention of it. It would definitely be nice to hear about the Void and Kingpin in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think, and you have the perfect kind of connection for that with the Punisher being confirmed to be in Brand New Day. You'd have him be like, I left because of Kingpin. That's all you really need. Just acknowledge that it's happening and it's going on. That's all I need.
That being said, Spider-Man not being here, I don't think there's a version of this where he ends up in this.
No, well, if nothing else, because of all the rights and the
Sure.
complications there, I think, unfortunately, that's just going to be, it is what it is.
And I also think that even just from, like, a narrative perspective, like, Spider-Man being here in, like, any non-quick cameo capacity, I think steals the show too much.
I agree with that. And I think the same thing with, like, the new Avengers that are in New York as well. One, I think they're fine and could be pretty easily explained off because they're kind of protected.
And
by
Valentine's
Valentina.
actually mentioned, because her and
Yes.
Charles work together, so she could easily be preventing them from
Absolutely.
doing
I
anything.
think that's, a pretty understandable conclusion. I don't feel like we even really need a mention just because of that, just because she was mentioned in that way. Again, it doesn't take much. All it takes is, like, a confirmation that things are connected and happening. So we'll see. But it's like, for Peter to go through the Void, especially in the place that he's in right now, I think we kind of have to hear some mention of that. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't.
Indeed.
Anyways, I don't know.
Other Punisher not being here. Because he was a pretty big part of Season 1, and some of the better parts of Season 1. Here, just gone.
I don't terribly mind that, especially because I want to see what they're doing with the Punisher special. But I will say I feel like the Punisher special needs to kind of explain where he's been all this time, as well as Brand New Day. I think we're going to get a couple things, the special and Brand New Day, and then I could really come to the conclusion, should he have been in this season?
I think the Punisher special is going to be the real...
Yes.
Like, if you... Like, it's... Because I'm pretty sure it's confirmed to be taking place, like, either within the same time period or between the two shows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, where are you at, man?
Mm-hmm.
Because you literally are also a victim of this.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And Borderline made them attack harder. Like, beyond the fact that you inspired this type of thing from the police, and then you went on and attacked them and made them even more aggressive against vigilantes. So there's to act like you ain't got involvement here, be crazy, Frank. But I do think it almost feels like his role in Season 1 was replaced with Bullseye here in Season 2. Which I think is a fine trade-off.
Can't complain about that.
I can't.
Like Bullseye here.
But I do very much still need to know why Frank was not here.
Yeah. I don't think his presence was... I mean, I will always enjoy Frank. I don't feel like there was a hole here that he needed to be in, but I do still love him enough to want to know where he is. And if we weren't getting the special, I would be complaining. But we're getting the special in 2 days. So I'm like, I'm going to hear them out. That's where my head's at.
Indeed.
So,
Trying to think of any others. I think those are the big ones. Oh, how did you... You know what we haven't talked about yet? Vanessa's death.
Vanessa! Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I feel like we all kind of knew she was gonna die in that episode. We didn't know, but it seemed pretty like something's gonna happen.
Well, because you had the governor being like, I don't trust Mayor Fisk, I trust Mayor Fisk and his wife.
Yes, that, and then him wanting her to not show up, and then her showing up and in all white.
In the
it was
white.
just like so clearly gonna happen. Like they were set, but it you know, that didn't take away from it. It just was perfectly set up. Like it was gonna happen. As we say now with the slang, she's cooked. So, I will say, I think we both figured it out, but it still really worked where then Kingpin ended up ultimately being the one who killed her, because
the shot meant for him, he bounced it off the belt and it hit her.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, the blood, like, it was done so well. It was so sad, but it's like, wow, that's just beautiful. And then her in the hospital and the flashback scene.
And then the whole flashback of it all.
Oh.
The scene where she
hurts.
regains consciousness just as like a last bit of energy.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. Queen. It'll be interesting because she is a kind of, I would say, a fan favorite. I mean, everybody rooted for her to come back, like the actress and the character. I don't think it's, you know, I'm not worried about season 3, but I am interested in see where it looks like, especially now at where Kingpin's at. Like,
I will say she added a lot of very important dynamics for Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that these seasons as they are could work without her.
Mm-hmm.
If they, and Kingpin, from what we've seen from season 3 pictures, is in a completely different place. So they're clearly going to have to do something very different for season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly going to be surprised if he's any kind of the main antagonist in season 3. I'm
I
very curious
know,
who's going to fill
yeah.
that role.
Mm-hmm.
Which it feels a little interesting that we haven't heard a whole lot of rumors. Heather, you're not invited to this conversation.
You are not a antagonist, maybe. Or
Sure.
you have your own thing going on. Main, absolutely not. Especially not to replace Kingpin of all people. Absolutely not. So, and then Bullseye's not.
Bullseye's with Charles now, which I think
Yeah.
is really fun. And I think that he's Wilson, what is your actor's name? Oh my gosh.
Oh, Bullseye's?
Yes, because he also does such amazing work. Wilson Bethel.
Yeah.
He's talked about how he also wants a comedic accurate suit. And I'm like, and you know what? Charles is going to get you through the Marvel hero costume machine.
Mm-hmm.
And get you that. And I think that he could come back from doing military work with him pretty leveled up. Which I think would be really fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love the opportunity for him to pop up other places. Some interesting stuff they could do with him.
Season 3, I don't really know where we're going with a lot of stuff, but I know we're going to have a lot of familiar faces that we love. So I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
They did such a good job with this season. Like, if it's the same people working on it, then let them cook.
Indeed. Some of the things that we know just from the ending. So Matt's in prison.
Mm-hmm.
We know Kingpin is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Jessica and Luke with their daughter are now back in New York. Because Alias Investigations is also open again. In your honor, I'm here. And they're hinting that Muse is going to come back through Heather.
Yes.
Some rumors are that
Iron Fist.
Danny Rand's actor is in New York right now as they're filming season 3. Have you heard who else is in New York right now?
Is it? Oh, I forgot her name. The girl from Iron Fist.
It is not. I haven't
It's
heard
not?
anything on
Okay.
her, but I've heard that Electra's actress
Oh.
is in New York right now as well. Unconfirmed.
No.
We've not seen any pictures of them on set. We have seen pictures of Mike Coulter and Iron Fist's actor
Mm-hmm.
just together out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But
Please, for Mother's Day, please. No, that would be so awesome. I adore her.
I do love
Please.
Elektra.
Please. And she would be probably not as the main antagonist. I don't know. We'll see what they do. But
You could do a lot of different things with Elektra.
Yes, yeah. She could fill in a lot of places where they need it.
And in recent years, she's taken on the Daredevil mantle. So there's plenty of room.
Do.
Indeed, well put. Yeah. So, anything else you would want to see from season 3? I can't think of any like named character I'd want to return. Ooh, you know what?
I mean, Claire. I'd love Claire to return too.
I would love for Claire to come back.
Everyone else is coming back, but I don't know with Ahsoka.
She's a busy girl now.
Yeah, which good for her. But yeah, that just me not. But also Disney just like crossover lives.
Just have Ahsoka show up in season 3.
Just a cameo. Come on.
You know what I think would be pretty fun, especially after Spider-Man, and it would bring our baddie back. Let's bring if we have the hand back, and do some proper ninja stuff here.
Yeah.
No, not shade to Daredevil, which did some fun ninja stuff. Shade to Defenders, which considering your whole season is ninja stuff, I don't think enough ninja stuff. I'd be so down to see what that looks like, especially with a hole in the criminal empire. I think it's very hand coded to jump in there.
I'm open to it. I'm open to seeing what they want to do.
Ooh, and you know what? I want my girl Echo back in New York.
Fair. That's fair.
Get me my girl. Okay, so next up I have a list. No, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So, I wanted to see if you could guess what the highest and lowest rated episode of the season were.
I have zero idea. Would the lowest happen to be the one that was not really your favorite, the one following the flashback? I believe.
It was not. That one, Requiem, was a 9.
I have no idea. I feel like either the first or the 9th episode's one of the highest. Or flashback.
The highest was the last episode with a 9.5, The Southern Cross.
So valid.
The lowest one was episode 2 at a 7.9, which is pretty good place to have your lowest episode.
Yeah.
Fisk tries a new tactic to lure Daredevil out of hiding. That was whenever he put out that Matt is missing. It's so interesting. But I honestly can't tell you anything else that happened in that episode, so maybe there's a reason.
Yeah, me neither.
Interesting. Next up, I know you said you struggled, but I wanted to quickly rank of the Daredevil seasons.
Dude, I don't know.
And you just tell me how you feel about my list.
Okay, go ahead.
And maybe you can compare. I feel pretty confident in my list.
I mean, my lowest one's definitely the first season of Daredevil Born Again.
Yes, at number 5, I have Daredevil Born Again Season 1.
Me too.
At number 4, I have Daredevil Season 2.
I would put that as well.
I love Elektra, and I love the introduction of Frank.
I feel like it's mostly...
I feel like they lose me a lot as the Frank storyline kind of unravels. Don't like the antagonist for that half of the season. I couldn't even tell you his name. The whole lore behind Punisher and who killed his family is just aggressively convoluted to a point where I think it's almost impossible to remember unless you're looking at it on paper. For number 3, I have Born Again Season 2.
Probably me too.
Then I have
know.
Daredevil Season 1. And then I have 3.
That's that would at least be similar. I don't know. I'd really have to think, because I haven't seen season 1 of the original show in a while. I'd have to think if I wanted to put that or this season, because I really did like this season. I probably would do that same ranking though.
Yeah, I would say those two are pretty close. Yeah. But I think season 3 is a clear favorite for me.
Yeah. For sure.
And then our last ranking of this episode, we have the 7 different Defenders shows. And And yes, you will. You, our audience, will see what those 7 are if you don't already know.
And here's my thing. You might disagree with my first 2 rankings, but it's okay. My bottom one is Iron Fist, and I went back and forth between this and another one, my next one. I'll just wait till I reveal the other one.
Sure.
Kind of, yeah.
Surely.
He's never been my favorite. I'm sorry.
My number 7, I have The Punisher Show. I love Frank, and I love his casting. I think he does a lot to make that character very soulful. Mm-hmm. I think the show around him is just kind of a mess. Season 1, I think, is all right. I like Detective Mdani, I think is her name. And then we have, I think his name's Ben Brooks, who's
played by Ben Barnes.
Ben Barnes. That's why I was trying to get the actor's name. Who plays an antagonist in both seasons. I think he's interesting enough, but the show's this is just a messy show for me. Mm-hmm. And then he's constantly trying to save someone and being like, "Oh, I'm trying to get out of the gate." Like, unfortunately, Netflix has made him a very repetitive character. And then, oh no, there's another person responsible for the death of my family. I'm like, guys, what are we doing here?
I put Punisher as my number 6, and listen, I totally understand if you would swap them. I get it. I would even acknowledge that Punisher is the worst of the 2. I love Frank, and I can't. I don't like Danny Rand. I'm sorry to that actor. Maybe it is that actor. I don't really know. I'm so sorry, because he looks cool as hell in Marvel Rivals, even though I know that's a different. But anyways, Iron Fist is so cool when it's not him, when it's anybody else. So, sorry, I don't know.
No, my number 6 is Iron Fist. I have them flipped. I think there's one episode of Luke Cage where I think this actor nails Danny Rand. Because Danny Rand is just supposed to be a really chill guy. And he is one of the most unchill characters freaking ever. In his show, it's just insane. I will say the show around him, I actually find kind of very interesting. Just almost the Severance-y vibes they have in season 1.
Yeah.
I think is super interesting. And then they do a really weird adaptation of, I forget her name, but she's really cool. She is, DID like Moon Knight has, so she has multiple personalities.
Yeah.
Well, you go next. I'm going to look her up. But
okay.
They adapted her in a very grounded way for someone who's basically like a Harley Quinn with superpowers. Mm-hmm. But the grounded version, I think, is fine. The cast around her is great. Colleen Wing. Love Colleen Wing. And I really like The Hand as well. So there's fun stuff around him, even if I think the character... Yeah. A combination of him and the writing just doesn't get Iron Fist.
I will say, I agree. I do think Iron Fist is ultimately probably the better made show. But I have, no plans to ever rewatch these ever again. So, yeah. Anyways. My next one, I also debated between these next 2. But I put Luke Cage. And it's hard because I really like Luke Cage. But I feel like you... think this similar to me, where season 2 I think was weaker, because then he started being
I disagree.
I don't remember, but it's the point where he starts almost being evil. I don't know. I don't remember season 2 a whole lot. I remember season 1. I really like his character, so I'm excited to see them bring him into the MCU. See what they do with that, especially with him and Jessica Jones is a duo. I'm yes. Yeah, the show is okay. I wouldn't I have no plans as well to rewatch this in the future, but it wouldn't be as much of a chore as my bottom 2, for sure.
My number 5, I have Defenders. I think there are some really funny moments here. I think Elektra's on the back burner for too much of this season. Sigourney Weaver, I think, is fun to see anywhere. But then I fear they also don't have crazy great dynamics. Aside from, like, Jessica and Daredevil. And Jessica and Luke are always fun. But beyond that, it's just kind of like, yep, we're all here. I guess. Like, they don't mesh together in, like, the way that, like, you want a team to. Like, it's no Avengers, it's no Guardians. I don't know. It's giving just a group of people doing a thing instead of a team.
I put the Defenders next, so perhaps we might be flipping some of our things. But anyways, I don't know. I liked the Defenders well enough. I think it's also really funny how important it is between seasons 2 and 3 of Daredevil. I don't know why. I just find it really funny that, like, they're basically like, you kind of have to watch the show to understand what the heck's going on. Matt's dead, what? And you're like, whoa, watch the Defenders. But yeah, I like seeing them all together, even if I feel like they're definitely not the most interesting team. It allows for some fun duos, I think. The 4 of them, again, it's Danny Rand, where I'm like, okay, the 3 of them. 3 of them are great, and then he's here. But I do love Elektra when she is in the show.
For number 4, I have Daredevil Born Again. I will say brought down a lot by season 1. Doesn't help that I had pretty high hopes for season 1, but some great stuff and a great season 2.
Okay. I have that one next. I have Daredevil Born Again as my number 3. Yeah, it's hard because I want to put this higher just because of season 2, but I do have to remember season 1. And that is, they're almost like polar opposite seasons for me. And, I mean, season 1 is not horrible. Like, for polar opposites, it does have some really solid parts. But then, yeah.
But it doesn't come together in any way that I
No.
think makes a good season.
No, for sure. At least cohesive. So, yeah, it's hard. If they make a really good season 3, then this might perhaps go up. But with just what we have, that's where it is.
Indeed. At my number 3, I have Luke Cage. I think Luke is a great character, and they give us Misty Knight, whom I also love. I really like season 2. I thought Bushmaster was a very interesting villain. And then Mariah, I think, steps into a villain very interestingly, as kind of like a politician who remembers that she's crazy. And she's very fun. She's a great actress, and so every time that she's on my screen, I'm like, I know you're horrible, but, like, why am I still standing? But season 1, the second half, after they get rid of Cottonmouth and bring in Luke's half-brother, I cannot stand that character. I think he's so annoying. He completely shifts the tone of the show into something annoying. And then in season 1, they have the bullets that break Luke Cage's skin, and it's like cool to jump the shark half a season in. What are we doing here? But I do love Luke so much as a character. And then I can see how it turns people off with where he ends up, but I remember being a little, like, kind of blown away that I was not turned off by him going where he was. I think there's probably something more to be said about, black communities having to look after themselves. But yeah, I'm excited for him to come back to where Luke Cage typically is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy a lot more of his show than I dislike.
Okay, my number 2, and I went ahead and put number 1 because it's the only one left. I put Jessica Jones and the original Daredevil show. Jessica Jones, I do agree that season 3 is weaker, but I remember season 2 being pretty good, and then obviously season 1 is really good in my opinion. So I think this is such an underrated show. I would love to rewatch Jessica Jones at some point in life. And then kind of same with Daredevil. Like, it's great. Even season 2, which is the weakest, is like
It's still really solid.
Pretty dang good for a quote unquote weak season. Like that's pretty good. So
Indeed.
you're in a good place.
Yeah, so mine is also Jessica Jones and Daredevil. Here's maybe my hot take. I think Jessica Jones season 1 is like the best season maybe out of all of these shows.
I mean, it's pretty.
It's really good.
I do like season 1.
And like it's thin margins between that and Daredevil season 3, but like Kilgrave as a villain and like the whole everything they do with him, Kilgrave continues to be one of the scariest villains.
I agree.
And at the end of season 3 with Jessica Jones, they hinted that maybe there's some way that he comes back. And you know what? I would be very interested to see it.
Yeah.
Because he's so fascinating. And then Daredevil. Dude, it's freaking Daredevil, man. He's awesome. I love that guy. Lastly, I have a list of upcoming Marvel projects that are confirmed. Some of them dated. So, I have... The next thing is obviously the Punisher Last Kill coming out later this week. I think Punisher struggles to be a lead character for me. It's short, it's concise, which I think could make it a little better for me. But I'm really hoping they just do something that they haven't done before. And I think there's hope for that, even if I'm going in with my guard up. Also this month, Spider Noir is having its first season debut. Yeah, I also forgot about that. I continue to okay, I might just be weird. I feel like my biggest detractor is Nicolas Cage, is Spider Noir. I think there's something about the Spider Noir, because I love his character. Like, I think he's amazing in Into the Spider-Verse. And I love exploring the multiverse. So I think that there's some fun stuff you could do with a show like this. I don't know. I feel like I have a thing with Nicolas Cage in, like, live-action performances sometimes.
I just don't want it to be live action. I didn't
That's
like
also
that
fair.
choice. Yeah, I didn't like that choice. There's so much more you could do with animation.
And you're on a show budget. I'm very curious how you can do a live-action Spider-Man on a show budget.
Yeah. So
I fear you can lose a lot.
I don't know. I'm not.
I'm expecting it to at least be okay.
I feel like that's gonna be another one we just kind of watch separately. Like, I don't feel like we need to spend our time watching it.
Next, this summer, we have X-Men 97 Season 2. Seeing so many pictures come out from that, I'm so excited. I was excited for Season 1. That was an amazing season. So it makes me very hopeful for Season 2.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. I don't know if you've heard of it. Also with the Punisher.
This little indie film.
Our girl Sheila's gonna be in it as the mayor of New York. In the fall, we have Vision Quest. I'm very excited to see the end of this little trilogy of WandaVision spinoff. And we're getting Speed, and I'm so excited to see what they do with that character. And there's rumors that he's gonna officially end up on a team by the end of it. I am so excited to eventually get a trailer for this, because I feel like no one has a really good idea of what this show is gonna look like, but I think in a very exciting way.
Yeah.
Avengers Doomsday, not Secret Wars, is in December.
Another little indie film.
The reports from audiences, test audiences, are pretty positive so far. And there's confirmation that there's surprise characters in there that have not been announced. Thank you, Alan Cumming. I'm sorry that Kevin Feige hates you. But that does make me a little more hopeful for it.
Like, whatever. At this point, whatever. What the hell? Sure, that's where I'm at. You know what? If nothing else, even if it ends up being bad, I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for it to be good. That's always what I hope for. I never prey on, well, not never prey on a movie's downfall. But if, if there's nothing problematic going around with it, then I'm not preying on its downfall. I just don't know. But we're also getting Dune, and I think that's hopefully going to be good. So, nothing else, we'll get hopefully one good movie that weekend. Maybe two if we're lucky.
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is confirmed to be coming out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little hopeful it'll come out sometime this year.
Me too.
I really enjoyed season 1.
Yeah.
Hey, Spider-Man in animation, right there.
Yeah.
And then Daredevil Born Again season 3. We had season 1 last year, around this time as well. So maybe sometime summer to springish. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And then Secret Wars is coming out, I think, 2028.
7.
7?
The following, yeah, because it's this
7.
December and then the
Crazy.
following December.
And we know that they are filming an X-Men movie, and Black Panther 3 is coming out soon as well, in production soon.
They've got some stuff going on.
Very
so
interesting stuff.
we'll see. Still waiting for Shang-Chi too, but whatever.
What was that? Oh, and Wonder Man was confirmed for another season, which is also very exciting.
Cool.
And that was the guy who did Shang-Chi 2.
Yeah.
Or Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
And then he's
That's
also
Daniel
doing...
Craig.
He's busy. He's also doing the Spider-Man movie, so...
So good for him. He deserved it.
I would be cautious to have a Shang-Chi movie with a sequel without him attached to it. And
Yeah,
you do be
me
busy.
too. Yeah.
So maybe there's someone you could get to do Shang-Chi while he's busy, but you gotta be careful.
I don't know. I would wait for him, honestly. Especially it's already been so long. Like, might as well just keep waiting and make something good,
Indeed.
Blade, is that ever gonna come out?
I think that's officially kind of waitlisted for whatever else.
That's just dead in water. Sucks because they had such a good cast, and I'm like, guys.
I feel like it's just insane to me that a Blade script was hard to write. I feel like there's a lot of, like,
I can't. You're gonna lose 2 really good actors because you just won't make a movie. Because then they're gonna be busy with something else, and good for them. Because why should they wait for this?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Indeed.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. Top 3 Marvel projects you're excited about on this list?
Ooh, on this list, X-Men 97 season 2, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2. Easy. Daredevil Born Again season 3 is a close number 4 though.
I would say it's Spider-Man Brand New Day, X-Men 97, and then Vision Quest for me. Alrighty. Any last thoughts on Daredevil Born Again before we call it a day?
No, I think we're good.
Alrighty, well, please let us know your thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. What is your favorite Defenders show? We'd love to hear that in the comments below. And until next time, I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And thank you so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds.